What kind of lessons can you possibly teach the perfect pitcher? Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Pirates 5, Blue Jays 2 last night at PNC Park. If there's any safer bet in all of Major League Baseball than Paul Skenes overcoming a remarkably rare rough start, it would be Skenes never having that remarkably rare rough start in the first place. 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, and a walk. He logged 96 pitches, 65 of those for strikes. Threw everything, put it all where he wanted. Didn't matter that Toronto's the first place team in the mighty AL East. Didn't matter that they've got all these guys, and I mean guys, throughout that lineup who can hit. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, you can be really, really sure that he's about to be on again. In his previous start, of course, that was against the Brewers, August 12 at Milwaukee. 4 runs, 6 hits in just 4 innings. A couple of walks and 4 strikeouts. The Brewers have been doing that to everybody. Skenes wasn't about to be an exception, even him, the way they've been going. But man, it never, ever fails with this kid. This was Skenes afterward on this subject.
Yeah, I was pretty confident in everything today. The other day was kind of just one of those days. Nice thing is, like, in terms of body control and execution and stuff like that, usually it doesn't happen twice in a row. Sometimes they're going to get you, but in terms of actually executing my pitches, I feel like that doesn't happen twice in a row too often.
I promised you guys a little while back that through the remainder of this season, anytime Skenes pitches, he's going to be the topic of the next Daily Shot of Pirates. He's earned that. He's doing something that's just beyond belief at this point. He does not deserve to be dragged down by anybody, anywhere, in conjunction with this awful team. And that's because he is on a hard pace to win the Cy Young Award. 2.16 ERA, 0.96 whip, 174 strikeouts. And what I want to appreciate today more than anything else is that he's not just a 100-mile-an-hour thrower. He's not just a guy who has a secondary out pitch or even a tertiary out pitch. He's got 7 of these things, and they can all get you out. They can all make you look bad while getting you out. That's part of what makes everyone inside the baseball industry marvel at him. But the other part is that he's the exception to almost all of the rules that are in place. I'm going to give you an example of one such rule, and it's universal, or at least close to universal. And that is, if you're a young pitcher and you are really killing it at a certain level of the minor leagues, even if it's just A-ball, you aren't going to get promoted until they see you suffer a little bit. And that's not to prove a point, that's not to be tough, and it's not just the Pirates, it's also teams that are run by intelligent humans. This is not some secret. The prospects themselves know this. Some of them will actually put themselves into positions where they'll maybe not do so well for a game or two and then show how tough they are in bouncing back. Skenes presents you with the polar opposite problem, which is that he never struggles. He never has a moment where you go, oh man, maybe we were wrong about this one. In his meteoric rise through the system, one of the few things that I will give Ben Cherington and his staff credit for is that not even their ignorance related to development could hold him back. He was basically on a path where he would pitch a couple of innings for one level, a couple innings for another level, get himself set up to be in Indianapolis, get everybody out in Indianapolis, get up here and get to work. That's not to say that every start at every step, including in Pittsburgh, has been pristine. He'd be the first one to tell you that. If you paid attention to the clip that I just played, he's not noticing just results. He's not relying on just results. You might have even heard him say sometimes they'll just get you, meaning he can have all his stuff, he can put it exactly where he wants, and the other guys are just going to beat you with the bat. It happens. I've also had him tell me after starts that looked like he mowed people down, world beater statistics, and he'll say, yeah, I just really didn't have it tonight. He's not being cocky. He's just keeping it real. So neither I nor you nor anybody really ever has an opportunity to see how he'll bounce back from adversity, because he's already done that. In the moment of the adversity, he has dealt with it. He's walked off the mound saying, wow, that was a problem. I know exactly what I need to do to fix it, and I'm going to fix it. And then he goes out for the next start, and he's this again. And it doesn't matter, to repeat myself, if it's the Blue Jays or some really bad team. Legitimately special, legitimately great. When we come back, J1Q.
This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern, that's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from John Marshall, who says, DK, I go along with Bob Nutting firing Ben Cherington. My concern is that Nutting will make the same mistake as he did in hiring Cherington whenever he does pick a new GM. Won't it just be a vicious cycle? Well, the precedent would say no. The precedent would scream yes. It would have to. There's no way around that. But I never see that circumstance, the one that you're bringing up, as worthy of keeping the guy that you've got. One conclusion doesn't lead to the other. You can't say, well, your next guy is going to suck too, so we're going to keep this guy who sucks. It doesn't add up. Look, John, this is a lot like discussing the change of ownership itself. You can work yourself into a tizzy, not you, but anybody, and, get all upset about the owner. There's nothing you can do about it. You can feel the same way about who the owner might hire next, or what his processes are, or worse, what his priorities are. Does he want to have someone who doesn't know what they're doing, who will just shut up and listen when he says whack the payroll? Or could he somehow luck into finding himself a Clint Hurdle type? And by that, I don't mean for manager. I'm talking about as a GM, meaning someone with that strong of a will, someone with a personality to say the way Clint did, all those crazy things at that unforgettable press conference at PNC Park where Clint's standing there saying, I challenged these guys, and they're standing there in the room. I wanted to see if they were serious. It was like he was interviewing them. Do you remember that? what are the odds of finding another one of those? Because when you did have one of those, you had 3 really, really, really good seasons. One of those that very arguably should have resulted in a trip to the World Series. That, of course, being 2015. The Pirates won 98 games and got hosed by the ridiculous format that has since been buried. So, do you fear or dread what happens next? Or do you say, hey, maybe it'll be better? It can only be better with someone replacing this GM. This is the worst executive I've covered. Any of my 20-plus years of doing this, any of the 3 teams. So to my mind, there are no negatives, 0, attached with firing him. The only negative right now is that he's still there. I appreciate the question, John. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.